like lane or something, just without giving your hazard blinkers or whatever, the signal, they will pull you over. I've seen so many tonight.
Have you been mostly downtown or all over the place?
All over the place. I mean, it's been busy everywhere.
Yeah. And we're out towards Wake Forest, so the university.
Yeah, it was busy earlier over there. You mostly use Lyft or Uber also?
Lyft.
Lyft, oh, okay.
The Lyft app works better.
Yeah, it's more
I have trouble
accurate.
with Uber.
Yeah, it's more accurate, I guess, as compared to Uber.
Can you be Uber and Lyft?
Yes,
Oh.
I'm both actually. Because Lyft was not here just less than 6-7 months ago.
Oh, gotcha.
So on Uber, I've been driving for 3.5 years, and I've done almost more than 6,000 rides. Yeah, I registered myself for the Lyft when Lyft was not even here. I drove to actually Raleigh area. To there's a mentor. He checks your car and all that. There's nobody in Uber as such, but in Lyft there's a person who is considered as a mentor or like a follower. Like he comes up and checks your car inside out.
Yeah.
So, and that's what happened. And that's since then I've been, but even though Lyft was not here at the time, it's been 2 years, since I, signed up for Lyft also.
Mm-hmm. Now, do you only work for Uber and Lyft, or do you have like a day job and then you do this on
I have a master's in information technology, so I used to work for a bank in New York. I used to live in New York actually.
Okay.
And I really had a really good job. Then they had a merger with another bank, and then what happened? They when they had a merger, they laid me off. So I started developing apps for Android.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, so that helps.
I always wonder, like, how many people are like solely working on Lyft and Uber versus other things.
No, because this is not a way to make a living. I've seen drivers drive like morning, day, and night. I mean, you don't get much unless and until it's, I don't know, I'm sure you ever heard of the surge when the rates go up high, or especially on the weekends.
Okay.
That's when I usually drive at night, like from Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night. That's when I drive it.
Oh, so like during the week it's not so much, but
No,
during the weekend at
exactly.
night it's different. Okay.
Yeah. But what happens is people usually request right before 2 o'clock, and everybody requests at the same time, like, leaving the wreck and the bull stab, and that area is very busy, and especially when Wake Forest is in town. They are on their holidays, but when they are in town, they generate a lot of traffic.
Yeah.
And that's when the rates go high up, because when they go to their parties and they literally take every car, so what happens is that then supply and demand, so the
Right.
rates go high up, like 3.5 sometimes, depending how bad it is.
Like if there's the football game, it's worth it, but if the football game's away.
Yes,
okay.
yes. Like
Gotcha.
going to the game, like at the Wake Forest. I mean, usually it used to get busy, but now the buses take their students, so it doesn't get as busy. And when they leave the
Now,
gate,
did the buses change their routes and their availability because of Lyft and Uber?
no.
No?
The buses of the Wake Forest,
Okay.
they pick up the students and they drop them off at the campus. But students who are living off campus, they request Uber or Lyft,
Okay.
depending. Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, when you requested just now, it was not a regular rate. It was at 50% higher than the regular rate
Okay.
for the lift. And people don't realize that. They think it's the driver is doing something. The driver has nothing to do with the rates. It's Uber or Lyft controls it.
Okay, so do you see, like, the destination until you get it?
No, unless I don't start the ride, I don't see the destination. That's why they put it in there, because if, for example, if I get a ride like 8 or 9 miles away, I just don't accept it anyways, because what if the rider is going 1 or 2 miles? I'm going to lose money on gas and all that.
Yeah.
So mostly I accept rides which are closer. And once you start the ride, that's when you see the destination where the rider is going.
Okay.
I didn't know where you were going till I picked you up, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was riding with an Uber driver who said the same thing. And she said that she accepted a ride one time that took her all the way to Charlotte. So that she said that she, in essence, she thought she made money, but she had to make the return drive and she made nothing.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. So basically, you end up losing money coming back empty-handed.
Yeah. But could she have stayed in Charlotte and done some there? And then
Yes, the rates are much lower. And like, they really, what Uber did was, rates were really good when they were first started in the Piedmont Ride area. But then they slowly brought the rates down. So it's now 86 cents a mile and 15 cents a minute.
Okay.
Plus their fees and insurance fees once they put it in. If it's not surging, so the rates can go up to as high as $2 or something like that per mile.
Gotcha.
And some people think that, driving Uber XL or Lyft XL, I don't know, I just do Uber X, you are, even though they think they may end up making more money, the rates are much higher, but what Uber does is they deduct more from that percentage of from the Lyft from the Uber driver, if they're driving on the Uber XL. And obviously...
so they take more percentage from
yes,
them, too. Okay.
Yes. And if you're driving an SUV and if you're driving all the way to Charlotte, you're going in negative, you're not going in positive, because gas, you have to factor in the gas, how much money you spend on the gas. So driving a car like this, I mean, it's not too small, it's not too big, but it has a lot of, if you notice, it has a lot of leg room in the car.
Yeah.
Because what I do is I pull this seat when nobody's sitting in the front, I put it all the way so rider can be comfortable, and they have a lot of leg room, and this car can do on the highway at least 43 to 44 miles per gallon.
Mm-hmm.
So if I drive to Charlotte, I basically am able to make a profit. But if it's an SUV or mini SUV, they don't make much, considering they have to drive back home empty-handed. Yeah, because nobody will come back to Winston or Raleigh. From Charlotte or to High Point. I live in High Point, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I drive on the weekends just in Winston because it gets busy in Winston.
Yeah.
Even though they have a High Point University over down there. but High Point University, the students don't request much unless there's a homecoming or something like that.
Twice I've taken Uber or Lyft
Uh-huh.
from Greensboro Airport back to Winston.
Yeah, it usually comes out around $30, $35 or $36, something
Yeah.
like that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, give or take, yes. Yeah, over
34 to 37 is what I've seen.
yeah, and after the deductions, the rider gets $22 or $23. So from the percentage what Uber deducts from the rider, from the driver. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, like 3 years ago, when this first started, Uber didn't encourage tips. When they saw Lyft is coming in town, then they started putting in the app to put in the tip or something like that. Because Lyft, from the beginning, the riders can give tip on the app, but on Uber you couldn't. So it's now they're changing all that to be competitive with Lyft. Actually, it's pretty interesting. Yeah, it's
Yeah. And neither Lyft or Uber has figured out how to give the driver profit on return drives.
no, it will never happen. No, they give us a choice on the app. For example, if you're in Charlotte and if you are driving back towards Winston, and you can put in the app you're going to a particular destination, which is Winston. So they might Uber is not good in that. Uber might give you a ride in between, but it's not that the ride will take you all the way to Winston. It will give you a ride in between, a short ride here or there.
Okay.
So the app is not workable in that sense. It should work only when a rider is coming close to the destination when the driver has put in the app.
But Lyft does.
Yes, Lyft does, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that makes me want to use Lyft more to know that they take more care of you.
Yes,
right?
absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. Uber does not do
Not
that.
that I'd call a Lyft to Charlotte.
I know, yeah, absolutely. You would rather drive yourself, absolutely, yeah.
Huh.
So it can bring you to particular destination, closer to the destination, and they give you only two tries basically to put in the destination. And if somebody is going like a mile in between your trip all the way to Winston from Charlotte, so that's considered as one trip being consumed, and then you have only one left. To put the destination back to Winston. So it's and I use actually 3 phones. One is my dash cam, one is my accepting requests, this is my strategizing phone, this one on the left, and this is my main phone. So I have only service on one phone, but I use it as a hotspot to run my Lyft on this phone.
Gotcha.
Because if you're trying to get to the rider and you want to see on the map at the same